This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, and welcome into MVP Sports. My name is Ricky Widmer. You guys already know that. I'm joined back at it. We're not talking football. You're used to this guy being next to me when we talk football. Let me fix my hair a little bit. It's JD. It's what James Donovan. How we doing, Mr. Donovan? How we doing?
We're doing great, man. It's good to be back. It's, been last time was the NFL draft.
I don't know the last time you and I have shared a screen together.
Or
I'll be
maybe just after
honest.
the NFL draft. Yeah, lots changed. So
JD is, by the way, a little update. I don't know. We're pre-recording this, so he can tell me to, fuck off if I'm not supposed to say this. But JD, a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, a Canadian, no longer in Canada. Welcome to the U.S., bud.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm not going to say exactly where in the U.S. I don't want to dox you or anything, but welcome to the U.S. USA. USA. USA.
We could say state. I'm in Texas. Ricky knows where, but
I hope I know where.
Yeah. Y'all don't need to know that though right now. So,
but welcome to the U.S. A lot has changed.
I appreciate it.
JD, now you might be seeing more JD. This might not be the last. So little confusion here to put it all straight. We're here to talk about MLB Trade Deadline. This is not an episode of The Wrecking Crew. This is why you see the generic MVP Sports graphic and not The Wrecking Crew. Tim and I are going to talk about Cubs on Monday. Tim's getting his computer fixed. He should have it ready to go hopefully next week. But JD, he messaged me and he goes, you know what? Were you guys going to talk regular MLB Trade Deadline? I'm like, we really didn't plan it, but what do you got in mind? So I got to give thanks to you, JD. This is your brainchild here to kind of talk about the general MLB. What's going on? We just had the trade deadline on Thursday. I'm going to say this for my Cubs fans out there. I'll just say this. No, I am not yes, I am not happy. I'm pissed. You're going to find out on Monday, though, how pissed I really am. As Tim and I will have all the Cubs for you. JD and I are going to go through everything else. Before we do that, a little bit of housekeeping. Let's pull out the broom. Let's sweep, make sure everything's nice and neat. Number 1, Discord down below. Greatest community in the universe. You want to talk to like-minded fans. You want to talk to the greater MVP community. Hit the Discord up, link down below. You can also support us down below. Patreon link. Hit that sub button, that like button. Keep in mind with everything going on here at MVP. And of course, comment down below. We want to know that as well. But JD, let's get into it. I could basically bullshit for a bunch of this, but we're already a couple minutes in. We got a lot to talk about. And the first thing, I mentioned to you as we were coming up with what we're going to talk about. I'm like, the first thing I want to do to people, pull out the shotgun, buckshot right in your face. Well, not right in your face, but you get it. It's a buckshot. A lot of teams right away. I wanted to start with the AL East because you literally, out of all the divisions in baseball, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there, I think the AL East made the most moves generally combined with all the teams than any division in baseball on Thursday. You had the Blue Jays scrambling, the Yankees scrambling, the Red Sox made some moves. The Orioles were basically sellers. JD, I'm going to ask you this. Where would you like to start, with the Yankees or the Blue Jays?
I would say the Yankees, just because I think they made more significant moves.
You and I on the same wavelength. So Yankees are chasing the Blue Jays right now. They are 60-49, winning currently as we're talking about this. JD's Blue Jays are currently losing. They're still 2 games behind, or 3.5 behind the Blue Jays. The Yankees, though, they got Camilo Doval, relief pitcher, closer from the Giants. They got Caballero from the Rays. Yes, they traded Oswaldo to the Angels, so offloading Oswaldo, the shortstop. They got Jake Bird. They got Bednars from the Pirates, which I was upset with because the Bednars was a guy that I'm like, maybe the Cubs could get him. No, we're not allowed to get him. We're not allowed to get him.
Same here.
Austin Slater, they bring him in from the White Sox. They offload Carlos Carrasco for cash. The day before the deadline, they get Ahmed Rosario from the Nationals as they were selling. JD, the main thing with the Yankees that I think that I'm going to be blunt when I say this, and I don't know if our own Jake Neverman would like me saying this, but did the Yankees save their season? Because this is a Yankee team where before the trade deadline, all Yankee fans were doom and gloom. Oh, Judge is injured. The season's over. Aaron Boone, he's an idiot. Cashman's not going to do anything. Did the Yankees do enough moves to save their season and give themselves a fighting chance this year?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start off by saying I'm gonna embrace the hate because I'm gonna get a lot of shit from Yankees fans, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean they did save their season, which is what they know because
JD's like, sadly they saved their season.
Yeah. The biggest compliment I can give Yankees fans is that I'm upset with what they did because they did get better. They fixed their holes throughout the team.
Yeah.
And I said it especially during the Jays series, well, I guess both of them. The Yankees were the worst defensive team in baseball I think I might have ever seen. They couldn't make routine throws to the first base, missing balls in the outfield, lazy outfield play. It was just all around bad. So what did the Yankees do? They got Ryan McMahon, who you could argue like offensively Coors really helped him, Coors Field. But again, defensively, he's one of the better third basemen in the league defensively. So, and he's already paid dividends there. He's already made quite a few throws that Jazz wouldn't have made, and just positionally, he's good. Ahmad Rosario, he's like a platoon infielder, so nice, and he's not great defensively, but I mean, for a platoon guy, can't complain. And but one of the big things with the Yankees though is they didn't have to give up their top prospects. They didn't have to give up Dominguez. I know he's not so much a prospect anymore, but he's still one of their young players.
Well, people are wondering, are they going to have to give up Jason Dominguez?
Yeah, and I know maybe some Yankee fans wanted him gone, but they were able to make these moves like Bednar without giving up George Lombard Jr. and Spencer Jones, who Spencer Jones has been raking in AAA. Like, do you know what his stats are?
I don't, but I was going to say before Yankee fans have already added this in, I also forgot to mention, I mentioned Rosario. I didn't go one step further. Ryan McMahon, also a Yankee.
Yeah.
The guy that the Cubs were linked to. Again, another Cub.
Yeah, and again, I like that move was great because they needed a third baseman, and the fact I know Yankee fans, a lot of them probably wanted Eugenio Suarez, but the cost would have been a lot for them for a rental.
Yeah.
But back to Spencer Jones in AAA this year, he's batting 400 batting average, an on base percentage of 457, a 900 slug, an OPS of 1,357 in 22 games. And then he has, he has 13 home runs and 26 ribbies. So he's raking. And I know a lot of Yankee fans didn't want to give him up, and to get one of the better closers in baseball, or at least high leverage relief pitchers, you didn't have to give those guys up. So I think it was great business, and I mean, yeah, Judge is injured, and yes, you might like your I know the starting pitching has struggled a little bit, but honestly, like if I was a Yankees fan, I'd be thrilled, and you still
Hmm.
have your top prospects to make a bigger swing in the offseason if need be.
Well,
So I'd be happy with that.
the thing that I love most about what the Yankees did, one thing I'll also add, they did after the deadline. They actually did it today, August 1st, as we're talking about this. They released or DFA'd Marcus Stroman,
Yeah.
former Blue Jay, former Cub. Immediately when I heard that, I was like, Chicago, just get him right now. We didn't get a starter in the deadline. I'll take him back. I'll take him back.
Oh, he's bad, bro.
Can we tell that I'm itching for Monday? I swear it'll calm down. But the thing with the Yankees I love the most, pitching, because this is a team I look and it's like, okay, Yarbrough, 15-day DL. You look at Lewis Gill, he's on the DL. Let me pull up they've got more. Let me pull up this roster really quick, the depth chart. So you look at their pitching, right? Starting pitching. Lewis Gill, 60-day DL. Garrett Cole, 60-day DL. Or IL. Clark Schmidt, 60-day IL. Right now, it's like it's basically been Rodon, Fried, and Warren in my mind, kind of holding down the fort. The thing I love, though, with the Yankees, and you might be thinking, like, well, Ricky, they didn't get like a lockdown starter. What are you talking about? Doval, Bednarz. Jake Bird is interesting because, like, I feel like he'll be better on the Yankees just because the Yankees are a better team than the Rockies are.
Yeah.
But, like, even if you're just going to say Bednarz and Doval, they added the most important thing you need in the playoffs, pitching. And not just starting pitching, but relief pitching. Because we've known in the playoffs, everything is thrown out the window. And this team obviously is thinking playoffs. They're not going to be a team that falls out of the playoffs, in my opinion. There might be games where it's like, okay, Rodon goes out there and he just gets bombed in the first inning. We've seen it. Playoff team. Oh, great pitcher. Lester for the Cubs even had where it's like, wow, we got to take him out way earlier than we thought. You're going to need relief pitching in the playoffs. And I loved how when they got Bednarz, like I said, it was a shot in the heart to me because that's one of the guys that I wanted. They get him and they get Doval. It's like, I was just sitting there. I'm like, can the Yankees lose? Like, they can't lose. Now, did they have the best trade deadline? We'll have to wait and see. You and I are going to do our winners and losers at the end. But, I mean, I'm going to translate it over. Let's move over to the team that's in first right now. The team that is currently losing now 9-1 to the Royals, JD. The Blue Jays, it's on his hat. He's a Blue Jay fan. I'm going to let you take this, but the moves that they made on the deadline, they bring in Louis Varland and Ty France from Minnesota. They bring in Brandon Valenzuela from the Padres. Shane Bieber's the biggest one. They bring in Bieber, although injured, from the Guardians. They bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez the day before. I know that this team was rumored for Stephen Kwan, didn't get Stephen Kwan. JD, where are you with the Blue Jays? Are you like, okay, we didn't do what we said we were going to do, but that's fine? Or are you like, I wish we would have done more?
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna make you do some editing here, Ricky, because you're lagging like crazy.
Okay.
So I can barely like hear you. So I don't know if it's on my end but like my connection says it's fine.
You are fine on my end. You're not lagging for me. Am I still lagging for you?
Can you talk a little bit?
Test 1 2, test 1 2. I'm talking about the Blue Jays here.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Okay. So basically what I said was, I won't say the whole thing. Basically the question is, JD, did the Blue Jays, are you sitting there going, I wish we would have done more? Are you saying, hey, we might not have done what we said we were going to do, but I'm happy with what we did?
Okay. So I'll just go right into it then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I I'm not thrilled with what we did. I'm okay with what ultimately what ended up happening, and thank God for the move at 6:02 p.m. Eastern, because if we didn't make that move, which was the Louis Varland
Yeah.
and Ty France trade,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been a lot more upset because the Jays, and again, I've been getting shit from my own fan base,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been negative,
Did you even
and
watch,
I
bro? Did you even know the
yeah,
prospect rankings? You haven't kept up on the
yeah,
prospect rankings in 3 weeks.
yeah. I mean,
It's a
that's
little.
a
That's a
story for
little
another
inside
time.
joke.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been getting crap because I've been on the side saying that the Jays need to improve because
Mm-hmm.
this run that we were currently on, um, I didn't think it was sustainable just because we were getting
Mm-hmm.
crazy performances from players that weren't known for that, like Ernie Clement, Joey
Mm-hmm.
Loperfido, Tyler Heineman, and list goes on. We were getting big performances from
Well, the whole team,
mostly,
1 through 9 was hitting.
yeah,
You never get that
exactly.
from any team.
No. So I would have liked to see like a power bat, like again, like a
Mm-hmm.
Eugenio Suarez. Yes, he is garbage
Mm-hmm.
defensively, probably the worst defensive third baseman in the league. But he's a power hitter. He's
Mm-hmm.
in carries over to the playoffs. Contact hitting teams have more of a difficult time in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
more times than not. But yeah, so the Louis Varland and Ty France move, that was huge because Varland is added to our bullpen, which our bullpen has been getting taxed because our starters have not been giving us enough innings in the
Mm-hmm.
last month. So Varland was a great pickup. Ty France, I mean, he sucks, quite honestly. He's terrible. And even in his first game as a J was pretty bad. But then and then we did the trade earlier in the day for Shane Bieber,
Mm-hmm.
for Cal Steven. And sorry, I'll say for the Twins though too quickly, like just because
Mm-hmm.
it's part of the trade. Alan Roden and Kendrys Rojas. He what you're getting in them. Alan Roden got a cup of coffee with the Jays this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he only had one homer, but he really struggled. He cannot hit lefties to save his life. So I think he's just a solid fourth outfielder, and he'll definitely play for you guys this year. Kendry Rojas, he was probably one of the bigger risers in the Jays system in the past year. He kind of projects to be a back end starter if if
Mm-hmm.
if he can stay healthy because he's been pretty injury prone throughout his early minor league career.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sorry. Back to the Shane Bieber for Cal Steven. I mean, I'm fine with it because in hindsight, Shane Bieber was the best pitcher moved at the deadline. And I mean, we definitely need starters. Our starters have been pretty bad, quite honestly,
Mm-hmm.
for the Jays so far, like this, especially recently. And especially for the playoffs, like if like all the rumors are that Shane Bieber's rehab is coming along very nicely, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it got announced just before the Jays game today that he's expected to make a rehab start in Buffalo either this week or next week.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting close to come back, probably another 2 or 3 weeks. And but the thing with Bieber that I like is obviously he's a former Cy Young winner,
Mm-hmm.
All-Star, but he keeps the ball in the yard, which is again crucial for the playoffs because right now the Jays have guys like Gosman, Barrios, Bassett, not so much,
Mm-hmm.
but guys like Gosman and Barrios who are just giving up absolute nukes every
Yeah.
single time they're out there. They might be pitching well,
Mm-hmm.
but then they'll give up a 3-run bomb, and then it's like, okay, offense, now you gotta, either get those runs back or try and claw your way back to
Mm-hmm.
the lead. So
Which
Bieber keeps the ball in the air.
which I will say, last time I looked into it, you and the Brewers all season have been the hottest two teams all year. It's easy for when your teams play. Like there were games where it's like, I know because I bet on the Blue Jays often during this latest run. There'd be times it's like you're down, like you are today, down 9-1. That's why when I hear you, JD, go, oh man, we're down 5-1, like it's over. That's why I've been like, no, it's the Blue Jays. Let's wait and see, because I've seen so many games during this run. You guys are down by multiple runs, and then last 3 innings, it's like Popeye, eat your spinach, and boom, 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 you're back in the game.
Yeah, but like, and you're right.
But that's not sustainable, and we know that.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what's happening now. Like, we got absolutely destroyed again in the series against the Orioles. And then hopefully this was just another bad game, and hopefully we get back to winning like tomorrow and for the rest of the series. But yeah, so Shane Bieber, if he can get back to being healthy and be a top of the line starter, that's huge, because he has potential obviously this year to start game 1 of the postseason for us. But the other caveat is that he is a rental.
Yeah.
So we gave up Cal Steven, who was our he was our 5th best prospect, and he was another riser, but he has high upside, and he's been dominating in AA. So that was like, for 1-for-1 though, like, I don't hate it. You just gotta hope that that Bieber, if assuming he declines his option at the end of the year, he resigns, hopefully, because that would suck to, get him for 2 months and lose Steven then for nothing.
Yeah.
And then just before the deadline, 2 days before the deadline, we traded in the middle of the doubleheader for Sir Anthony Dominguez for Jaron Watts-Brown, who was our 9th or 10th best prospect, and he's another pitcher. And I mean, that was, again, a much needed move, because the bullpen has, again, within the last 2 weeks, the bullpen has been taxed. They've been giving up nukes. They've been just giving up runs. So Dominguez helps at top of the bullpen. Now, again, so like with the Jays, though, I would have liked to add somebody like a Stephen Kwan, but apparently Cleveland's asking price.
Let me touch that for a second, because that's what I've been in the chamber. I've been holding it in the chamber. Don't want to take us off of YouTube. It's a hand, YouTube. It's a hand. But Stephen Kwan, I know there's many Blue Jay fans out there that are probably like, oh, come on. We didn't get Kwan. Come on, Blue Jays, give up what you need to. I don't care if it's the farm. There's probably fans like that. But from everything I saw, whether it was like Passan, Rosenthal, Nightingale, the one thing, and Rosenthal was the one that really said this, was the Guardians, how they do business is when they have a guy like Stephen Kwan, they go, this is our price for Stephen Kwan. And they don't fucking budge. They go, this is our price, and we're not accepting anything less than this. Because to be honest, they didn't have to. Steven, it's a whole supply and demand thing. The Guardians were fine keeping Stephen Kwan. It's because everyone wanted Stephen Kwan. So it's if anyone wanted to give that up. And I mean, I can understand if there's Blue Jay fans out there that are upset that you didn't give up the farm for Stephen Kwan. The only thing, like, and I'll ask you, JD, because you're a fan, I think of it in terms of the Aroldis Chapman move the Cubs made in 2016. Where if I believe we don't make that move, we don't win the World Series that same year. So it's almost like if you guys would have traded for Stephen Kwan, would that have been a defining World Series momentum move?
No, again, so like that's part of the reason why I'm not like dreading it. Like, again, the 2 guys I wanted were Kwan and Suarez. So I know it was a little unrealistic, but that's just where I was at.
Yeah.
But with Kwan, no, like he's just a floor raiser. He gives you somebody that you can put in, like pencil in, or sorry, not pencil. Using a red ink pen, put in at the top of the lineup as your leadoff hitter. Because right now the Jays have kind of been tinkering with leadoff guys. Like we put Nathan Lucas in there. We put Springer at times. Miles Straw, so on. So they would have just given you a for sure option at the top, who's somebody who bats close to 300, doesn't really offer much power, but is a tough out,
Yeah.
and a good fielder. So he would have raised the floor for sure, but he doesn't raise the ceiling of the team. So again, I'm okay because the Jays, again, I know I got shit on by my own fan base, but in all
Friendly
reality,
fire here.
yeah, but they all, like, from pretty much anywhere you look, the Jays did not have a top farm system in the league. So to deplete a farm system that already isn't that strong for a guy like Kwan, I wouldn't like that. And yes, if you have a chance to win the World Series, so that, like, we're first in the AL or tied for it as we speak, sure, we, I guess, have a chance for a World Series, but I don't want to. I really don't want to blow up everything we have just for a guy like Stephen Kwan, because the rumors are that we would have probably had to give up one of our top two prospects in Arjun Namala or Trey Savage, and that would not be good. Because again, if we're gonna trade those guys, because, like, especially a Savage, who I think has like top two pitcher in a rotation potential, I'm trading him for an like a bona fide all-star slash superstar type player.
Yeah.
So wouldn't want to. I that's why I'm not that mad that we fully didn't deplete our system, because we still have a lot of holes. Like, hopefully this offseason we find a way to get out of some pitchers and get more top of the line starters, because right now, like, again, the Jays just have too many holes. We need Santander to get healthy. Hopefully Vladdy can continue to improve, because he's been playing better since the start of July. So yeah, like, I wouldn't, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't have given the Guardians what they wanted for Kwan, because, like, again, the asking price apparently was insane.
The last thing I'll say on it is it's a tough situation, because this is a move or a not move where I'm fine with either side. The side that's like, oh no, we should have pushed, we should have gotten them, whatever it takes. Or the side like you said you're on, of like I'm happy we didn't sell the farm, because I almost think of 2019. I almost think of the Nationals. I also think of the Nationals like before. So, like, yeah, they won the World Series in 2019, but years before that, they were playing really well, and they had Steven Strasburg. But Steven Strasburg was on an innings limit, and the whole conversation was, okay, they're going to be a playoff team. Are they going to break their rule and let him go past that innings limit? And they shut him down. They said, no, he's not pitching in the playoffs. He hit his innings limit, and they didn't win. And people right then were like, oh, the Nationals this was their chance. They blew it. I can understand where some people might say, this was the Jays' chance. Like, you're playing hot. Yeah, I know you've come down to earth, but this is the time you strike while the iron's hot, because, it's impossible to get to the World Series. It's the hardest thing. So why not make a run when you're good? I mean, we'll see in the end if this was the right move or the not right move, but it's an argument where I could see both sides. And I'm like, you know what? I can defend either side here, because either you're giving up the future to try to win a World Series today, but if you fail, then it didn't work, and great, we give up prospects to fail, or you keep them and you say, hey, we're confident in the future. To pivot, JD, don't want to spend too much time on this team. I just want to mention how great of a job I think they did, even though it's nothing spectacular. I really like what the Red Sox did, personally. Ooh. So they made a deadline deal and a day before deadline deal. They get Steven Matz the day before the deadline. They get Dustin May the night of the deadline. Here's the reason why I like it, and it's nothing like spectacular. It doesn't move the needle where it's like they're a bona fide World Series favorite. Coming into the trade deadline, I was talking to Tim. You might have even been chilling with us. And the question got posed of who's that team that if you played them opening round of the playoffs, you're like, fuck, I don't want to play them. Mm-hmm. Like they are the wild card that could like make the run that the Nationals did, wild card to World Series champion. And Tim said it, and I was like, exactly. The Red Sox. They're a team that has nothing to lose. And that is the most dangerous team when it comes to the playoffs because this lineup is going to play with no pressure. Now, am I saying they're going to make the World Series? No, I'm not saying that. They're a young team. They're inexperienced. They'll be lucky to even make the playoffs, even though they're second in the wild card. But I look at this and I like the two moves because Dustin May solidifies that starting rotation, gives them a solid fifth man in that rotation now because they have what? Tanner Houck injured. Hunter Dobbins has been injured. Cutter Crawford injured. These are some guys that they expected to eat up major innings. They have to me, a serviceable. Well, serviceable is kind of low. Solid starting rotation. Love Crochet. Bello, I think, is good. Lucas Giolito. People were like, oh, were they going to trade him? Were they not? They kept him. Walker Buehler ain't what he was for the Dodgers, but he's solid as a back of the end rotation guy. And Dustin May is going to give them solid starts from the 5-hole. And I like Steven Matz because not just because they got him from the Cardinals, JD, he could be for this team what like John Lackey was for the Cubs in 2016. And when I say that, I'm saying like a guy who, yes, you're in the bullpen, but if we need you to go like 4 innings, 3 innings, 5 innings, I can trust that you're going to do that. He's a guy with starter experience, has that stamina to go. So I think that this is a team that, are they going to go anywhere? Probably not. But if they do go on a run in the playoffs, we're going to be looking back to these moves saying, yes, this is what did it for them. They shored up their pitching. How important is pitching in the playoffs? Very important.
Yeah.
And that's I just wanted to mention the Red Sox. I don't know. When I said the Red Sox, you made a face like you were surprised that I was even going to bring them up.
Yeah. So, that's kind of like I was surprised because, and it's a reason why I like having these conversations, this podcast with you, because I agree with a lot of what you said, but I think we interpret things differently because I agree. The Red Sox are a team that I would not want to see in the playoffs because yeah, they're careless. They don't care. They're a young team.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah. So, but that's why I hate their deadline. They're I'll be bringing them up again later, but
you wanted them to do more.
Yeah, absolutely, because they still have prospects that they could have gotten rid of or young players. Like Jarren Duran was on the trade block in a overcrowded outfield. You could have gotten something for him. And again, like, you know what? It feels good being on the other side of this because basically, Ricky, I don't know if you're aware because you were working, but the Red Sox got the whole thing with Ohtani's on a plane to Toronto. Well, that happened to the Red Sox. Joe Ryan was on a plane to Boston with 30 minutes left of the trade deadline. The whole Yahoo Sports and was it CBS?
Like we've never had this happen in Boston history. How about A-Rod? It's a done deal. He's a Red Sox. Nope, not so fast. He's a Yankee.
Yeah. These sources were coming out saying that Joe Ryan was a Red Sox, and no, it didn't happen. Instead, they get Dustin May, who is a fine pitcher, but you're telling me again the Red Sox have been linked with Joe Ryan for quite some time. You're telling me that the Red Sox weren't willing to, and again, who knows? Like the asking price was probably ridiculous, but Joe Ryan is an ace. and instead the Red Sox settle with a fifth starter in the
Mhm.
rotation. Like, I don't love that. Steven Matz, if I'm pretty sure, I mean, I think you would know better than me because you
Mhm.
probably watch more Cardinals games, but Steven Matz moved to the bullpen, right? He's more of a long relief
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But he's
again,
got
they get
that. What I'm saying is, it's like the John Lackey. John Lackey in 2016, starter. He was a fifth starter for us. I believe Matt's also with the Cardinals and has stepped in and started throughout his
yeah.
tenure with the Cardinals. But he's more of like, hey, like in the playoffs, you're going to be a bullpen arm, a long relief
Yeah.
bullpen arm.
Yeah, and this is the other thing I was actually going to mention during like when we were talking about the
Mm-hmm.
Yankees, but I can still say it with the Red Sox and even like the Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the baseball changes over time, and right now, like especially when it comes to the playoffs, the starters aren't going as long. So building a bullpen,
Exactly.
building an elite bullpen is arguably more important than having five elite starters
It's
because
not like
even
Nolan
if
Ryan's going to go out there and pitch 9 innings.
yeah, exactly. So that's why like I actually like I do like the Steven Matz move
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, yeah, that was really the only other thing they did. And again, I don't hate the Dustin May move.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're let's just say the Red Sox make the wild card series,
Yeah.
you're not going five starters deep. So what you could do is also move Dustin May
Mm-hmm.
into the bullpen. But again, for the Red Sox were just a team that had so many what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, moving Jaron Duran, that could have netted you, I think, quite a bit back.
Mm-hmm.
Going for Joe Ryan, that could have well, obviously that would have made you probably one of the scariest, well,
Mm-hmm.
probably the scariest rotation in the big leagues. And again, you just kind of and again, I'm a little biased because
Because of the
I
hat you have
am
on.
well, no, because I'm a Celtics fan, so
Oh, okay.
inherently I follow a lot of Red
Mm-hmm.
Sox fans,
Yeah.
and this just seems like
Red
an
Sox fans,
ongoing
because
trend.
during basketball season, they're tweeting about the Celtics.
No, but it's because like again, just genuinely I
Mm-hmm.
follow Red Sox fans because yeah,
Okay.
there are Celtics fans,
Mm-hmm.
but every year at the around at this time with the trade deadline, Red Sox fans are
Mm-hmm.
all right. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And they just get blue balled
Mm-hmm.
because they don't do anything at the deadline. They do most of their moves in the off season. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a little underwhelming, especially for a team that's in a wild card spot and that has roster issues of their own.
Well,
So
I'll say this. Last team in this AL East, because we're going to talk about all of them. I knew we were going to talk about all of them. The
mhm.
majority of this podcast up front is the AL East, and I'm sorry if you're like, come on, get to the Padres and stuff. We will, folks. We will. The last team I wanted to mention, obviously, the Baltimore Orioles. So they trade Charlie Morton. He's now in Detroit. They traded Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn. They're now in San Diego. You got Cedric Mullins now in New York Met. Woo, Andrew Kittledge. Yay, he's on the north side. Woo. Totally the move I wanted. Ramon Urias, he's now with Houston. As you mentioned, Sir Anthony Dominguez, he is now with the Blue Jays. It's just fun. This deadline for the Orioles, and I want to go out there and say, first off, Oriole fans, I'm looking right into my camera. I feel for you. I
Oh, I don't.
feel for the Orioles. And the reason why is, dude, a year, not even 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, how, like, it blows my mind how this was a team the last 2-3 years. This, everyone's talking about, oh, watch out for the Orioles, watch out for the Orioles, watch out for the Orioles. Youngest team. Oh, look at this core. They're going to become a powerhouse. They're going to be a World Series favorite one day. Like, look at it. Nothing.
Yeah.
They become the biggest sellers at the deadline. And I mean, they haven't given, like, they still got Adley, they still got Gunnar, they still got Holiday. Like, they didn't sell everything. But, like, this was a team that was like, all right, guys, we're done this year. We're done. O'Hearn's gone. Laureano's gone. Mullins is gone. Morton. Like, they were just like, Who wants to pick off our pieces that we're willing to pick off because we're done fighting this year?
Yeah.
I feel for that because when you get hope, when that rug gets pulled from out under you, I know what that feels like. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. Oh, AK, he's going to be the next best thing since Nikola Jokic, and still waiting. I'm still waiting on that first round playoff win. I think we got one against the Bucks, series win. But you flat out said, "Oh, I don't feel bad for him."
No. And I'll say this because like, I guess it's because both teams have been bad and whatever. But Oriole fans, y'all talk a lot of shit. I'll say
Who's
that.
your daddy?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. The good news for the Orioles, if you guys played the Jays every game, fuck, you guys would be 150 win team. Like, I give you your credit there. But again, and that's like where I'll come say like guys like Adley Rushman, who's been on the outs. Like there was little rumors, nothing crazy, but there were rumors that the Orioles were ready to move on from him already, and that was a former #1 overall pick, Jackson Holiday. That brother stinks too. So that's part of the issue.
Is he going to be the lesser Holiday brother?
I probably at this rate. if Ethan also sucks, then Matt's genes aren't great. But
cooked.
yeah, but no, because I actually really liked what the Orioles did, but I like just to last year. I mean, yeah, your players, like you guys did well last year. You got big. I mean, the second half of the year is when Adley really started to fall off.
Yeah,
but you got Santander, obviously not there no more. He put up over 44 homers last year. You got good pitching performances from Corbin Burns, who isn't there. And that's the thing though, their lineup, they actually their lineup still is relative, well not now, but it was relatively solid.
Yeah.
It was just their pitching was freaking brutal this year. But yeah, I don't feel bad because you guys talk so much shit and now you guys are back in the cellar where you belong. So, it's okay.
JD coming for blood.
Yeah, well, that's
I understand it though. I'd be saying the same things if it was like the Cardinals.
Yeah,
or the Brewers.
But I'll take my biasy out right now and I'll get to why we're here. I mean, I really like what they gave, I like what they got. Yeah, for guys like Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano.
They got a butt ton from the Padres.
Yeah. So I'm trying to pull it up here.
Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, Victor Figueroa, Tyson Neighbors, Brandon Buttersworth, and Tanner Smith.
Yeah, so Boston Bateman, he's now the Orioles' #6 prospect, left-handed pitcher. And then there was another prospect that was intriguing. Cobb Hightower, he was somebody that I mean, he's right now he's in single A.
Yeah.
But I know I saw Oriole fans kind of excited about getting him. I honestly don't know much, but when you hear people get excited about a certain prospect, I mean, not that that's the be all end all, but I mean, that's something to look forward to. So, and then even for like Cedric Mullins, I know he's kind of like a team icon, I guess you could say. Like Cedric Mullins has been with the team for a while, and again in his final game against the Jays, guys robbing home runs, getting big hits. So I get that, that sucks, but to get a couple of prospects from the Mets there, it's not bad. And then again, like I was kind of mentioning with the Jays, you got it again. Yes, I'm biased because I'm a Jays fan and I know our system relatively well, but Jaron Watts Brown was again a massive riser this year. Scouts love him. I know Keith Law of The Athletic gave the Orioles, I'm pretty sure, an A for their trade to get him for Dominguez. So scouts love JWB. And then yeah, you get some more prospects for Gregory Soto.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you kind of like, if anything, no, obviously not all these prospects are going to work out, obviously, but again, they gave themselves more ammo because I do believe the Orioles think that they'll be back maybe even next year, which is why they didn't trade an Adley Rutschman, a Jackson Holiday. They traded guys more on
So
expiring deals.
strategic selling is what you're saying.
Yeah, because again, now they reloaded. They already had a deep system, and then they added a bunch more to that mix that they can use to make big trades, like when they got Corbin Burns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. I don't. This isn't an off-season podcast, so like
Mm-hmm.
we'll circle back then because I don't really know who's a free agent or who's going to be on the trade market. But point is that they can make a big swing again,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think they're far removed. Their offense is still decent. Yes, they lost 1-0 to the Cubs today as we're recording, but they kind of sold now, so it's going to be different.
I mean, also the thing about, and I know because I focused on that game, even at work, like the two things about that game were, one, Cade Horton was on fucking fire today. What, 2 hits through 5 innings? Like, yeah, he walked 3, he gave them 3 base runners they didn't need, but only 2 hits through 5 innings is phenomenal. And for the Cubs, I mean, Trevor Rogers was phenomenal as well. 4 hits, 8 Ks against the Cubs, pitched all 8 innings, had a complete game, a complete 8-game inning. Like, the only reason he didn't get 9 is because the Cubs won. They were at home. Really, the only mistake Rogers made today was in the second he left a pitch to PCA that he took for a double, an RBI double. It's the only mistake he made all day, was giving up a hit to Kelly and then PCA batting him home. Like, that's it. Otherwise, he pitched phenomenally. One thing I want to do, though, is I do want to kind of sidestep. We have talked almost 50 minutes about the NL East, JD. So looking at sellers, right?
Yeah.
Let's go from a minor seller to probably the biggest seller we saw on trade deadline day. They cleared up, I don't know the exact number, I'm sure you know it, because I think you told me it before we were recording. They shipped off the most money of any team at the deadline, and that's the Minnesota Twins. They trade Johan Duran, where we get the great Jeff Passan tweet of, no, Duran didn't get traded. He's just hugging his the bullpen catcher, because that's what friends do. That's what they do. They just hug each other, and one just grabs the rear end of the other. Guys being guys, right? So you got Johan Duran. He's with the Phillies. Again, another guy that, I mean, the Cubs fuck all could care about getting. They also make another deal the day after, sending Harrison Bader, former Yankee, to the Phillies. They go ahead and make the swap. Brock Stewart, they ship him off to the Dodgers to get James Outman. Carlos Correa, he's going back to Houston. You got Danny Colomé, who one of the best left-handed relievers, especially in the show. His spotlight card's amazing still. They ship him off to the Rangers. They ship Willie Castro off to us. Probably the only move that I liked that the Cubs did. They send Ty France and Louis Varland, we already talked about with the Jays. They send them to Toronto. And then they make probably the only trade where it's like a straight-up swap of Major League for Major League. They ship Griffin Jacks, yet again, another guy I would have loved the Cubs to get. They ship him to the Rays for Taj Bradley. So I know there's speculation here. I know that the team being for sale, people have said, are put into this. The not actual owners, but the ownership group of the Twins declaring for bankruptcy. It's the same group that It's related to like the Bally Sports fiasco with their bankruptcy. JD, I just like I'm gonna ask you this because I'm sitting here going, the fuck are the Twins doing? Like, this is a team that I thought would want to be competitive in a weak, yes, I'm going to say weak AL Central. I know this year might not be the year because they're like 12 games, even though the Tigers are slumping, they're 12 games out. So maybe not this year, but like, in your mind, what's the end goal here for the Twins? Is it just to become the next Chicago White Sox? Are they trying to out White Sox the White Sox?
Yeah, so I don't have the exact number on how much money
Mm-hmm.
they shedded. I tried
Mm-hmm.
looking it up, but
Yeah,
nowhere
to be
is showing
found.
that. But yeah, no, like they're just trying to clear money. I mean, like you kind of mentioned, or you talked about, there's a lot of ownership drama going on, and they're trying to sell the team,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I didn't really think they were that expensive of a roster to begin with, but I don't know. Like, yeah, their whole goal was to clear cap space, or not
Mm-hmm.
cap space, sorry, just money.
Salary, yeah.
And yeah, and that's what they did. Like, they basically contract dumped Carlos
Mm-hmm.
Correa because that's all that was, just to clear his money.
Mm-hmm.
Johan Duran, obviously an elite pitcher, elite reliever, and but like, honestly, like, I like I like the prospects that they got in, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to get Eduardo Tate, who's now their fourth best prospect. Mick Abel from the Phillies, who I knew from MLB The Show, but he's a good prospect for them. He's their sixth best prospect. Kendry Rojas, who I mentioned earlier, is their seventh best prospect now. Um, What else then they also did yes, they traded Griffin Jacks, but they got a starter in return with
Mm-hmm.
Bradley. Um, they traded Danny Colomb for, I pretty sure that Garrett Horn. Again, Correa, that was just a cap, or sorry, as just a money issue.
And the
Like
one and the one thing that I will remind people, I know Astro fans and Twins fans probably remember this. Correa wasn't traded to the Twins. It was a situation in 2022 where Astros extended him the qualifying offer of 18.4 million for 1 year, and he said, "Nah, go fuck yourself." And then he went and signed a 3-year, $105 million contract with the Twins. So basically, they send him back for a minor league pitcher that they hope is going to be something, someone who's been
and
in the
cash.
league, yeah, and cash. But what Matt McCuskey or Mikulski has been in the league. He was drafted by the Giants in 2021. So very young pitcher, 26-year-old guy.
Yeah. So I mean, again, like I said, it was just like a money dump.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so for a team that, again, I feel bad for Twins fans. Your franchise is a dumpster fire right
Mm-hmm.
now, but you did really good with your returns, and some of these prospects have got to hit.
Yeah.
But yes, you gave up a lot of talent, but you also, again, you kept Joe Ryan, which I don't know if he'll make it on your team past this offseason. Um, Again, the Red Sox can circle back to try and get that trade done. I know the Jays were linked to him. Any other team, the
Mm-hmm.
Yankees will probably go for him because they go for everybody. But yeah, so you'll get an absolute haul for Joe Ryan, and yeah, it
Well,
sucks.
I will say with Joe Ryan, um, before any deal can be made, I believe he'll have to pass arbitration. They'll have to either avoid arbitration or go through because he's entering year 2 of arbitration.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
past year,
which
they avoided it with the $3 million payroll that he had, but they're gonna have to do the same thing next year before they can think about trading him.
Yeah, but that's still in the off season.
Yeah.
Arbitration meetings are in
Yeah.
like April or no,
Yeah.
not April, like
Hmm.
February or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just saying
Yeah.
they got him for a little bit. They got him for at least 2
Yeah.
more years.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like it just, in my opinion, it makes sense to trade him because
Hmm.
it's kind of like a Paul Skeens issue. Like especially now with selling,
Hmm.
all they really have is Joe Ryan
Okay.
and Byron Buxton. So
Well, I mean, that's why it's like, yet again, there could be, like you said, more moves after this year, but it's just
yeah,
like, I don't know. I also look at and I'll ask you this. I look at the AL Central and I think, wow, this is the worst overall division in baseball. Am I wrong? Are they the worst
no,
overall
yeah, yeah,
division?
yeah. They are the worst division, but again, like the reason why is like I don't see the Tigers falling off next year.
Mm-hmm.
I see the Royals taking a step up next year again.
Mm-hmm. The White
So
Sox, right? They're gonna
no,
take a
no,
step
no. The
up.
White Sox, sorry, White Sox. I mean, I don't even know if we're even gonna. Oh yeah, I guess we're talking about you later. But
Go, go,
uh,
go, go, White Sox.
yeah, y'all are kind of trash. I'm
We
sorry,
lose to
but
the Cubs, but we beat them once, so I guess that's their World Series.
but no. So like that's why again I don't hate the Twins going through a full
Mm-hmm.
rebuild because
Kind of have
I
to.
don't. Yeah, because you're not gonna outdo. It's the AL Central is a fight for like
Mm-hmm.
the top two. It's gonna be a dogfight next year, I imagine, between the Tigers and the Royals. So
You mean the
the Royals pick
Guardians?
their
You said you think the Royals take a step back,
no. Oh,
didn't
sorry,
you?
it's no a step up.
Okay.
I said a
Do
step
you think
up
the
because I
Guardians take a step back then?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, especially I mean we can't really talk about it, but like we don't know what's going on with their whole gambling situation.
Good.
So
Oh man,
s-
that ball.
s-
That can we just say, dude? If you're gonna do that, at least make it believable. Just right into
yeah.
the dirt.
Yeah. So so I don't again, I would love the Guardians to sell
Hmm.
everybody, but no, but the Twins like it's like the Twins, the Guardians and the White Sox,
Hmm.
those are the bottom teams in the Central and I don't see how any of those teams next season
Hmm.
over or leaps over the Royals or the Tigers.
Hmm.
So that's why I just embrace the rebuild, get some top
Hmm.
prospects through the draft or international free agency and
Well,
trades, and then move forward.
the one thing we'll do is they're related to the Twins because they got, like I said, Danny Colomb from the Twins, but like want to pivot from Twins kind of over to Texas. Texas was a team where I felt like they had to do something only because. So, another team we're going to mention, the D backs. D backs make 2 trades with the Mariners. They send Josh Naylor before the deadline to Seattle. And then on deadline day, they also send Eugenio Suarez to the Mariners. So the Mariners, 4 games out from the Houston Astros. When it comes to the wild card, though, they are the last team in. They are a game ahead of the Rangers right now. And this is well before these two teams play tonight. Their game has just started. It is 0-0 top of the second as we're recording this between the Rangers and the Mariners. And I just with these two, like I feel like these two were like, okay, the Rangers at first were like, let's see what happens. Mariners make their moves and the Rangers go, all right, we got to fucking do something. They get Danny from the Twins. They also get the guy that I wanted my Cubs to get. I swear I'll stop. They get Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks complete selling, which understandable. Like this is a team that is what? Let me see. They are 51 and 58. They're not going to win their division. They're not going to make the playoffs as they're 9 back of the Padres, who are, I believe, the second team in the NL West right now. So it's like, obviously, can understand why the D-backs are selling, but the Rangers getting Danny Coulombe, getting Merle Kelly, these two moves alone, JD, I'm like, I see why you did it. You're trying to keep pace with the Mariners because right now it looks like it may be Mariners and Rangers fighting it out until the end. I mean, yes, you got the Guardians 2.5 out, you got the Royals 3 out. So, like, it's not just these two, but it's mainly going to be Rangers Mariners fighting for that third wild card spot.
Yeah, exactly. And what the Rangers did was shore up their starting pitching with with one of the best starters on the market this year.
Yes.
Merle Kelly was really good, and Jacob deGrom is having a great season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought it was insane when there were rumors of, oh, the Rangers might be moving Jacob deGrom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, he would have to waive his. I'm pretty sure he has a no trade clause,
Mm-hmm.
and the Rangers aren't far out of the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I love this for them. Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
gave up some good prospects, like Cole Drake.
But this is what you have to
But
do to
yeah,
make a playoff run.
yeah, because since they won that World Series that nobody really expected them to win,
The
they've been not good.
mm-hmm.
So they need to get back into the playoffs. And again, they're a team that if they get in, they could make some noise. They have, like I said, an elite pitching staff. They got two of the best relievers on the market with Danny Coulombe and Phil Maton. Um, but yeah, and they didn't really overpay either. Honestly, they
Mm-hmm.
like again trades at the trade deadline cost more than in the off season. But in this case, like, I mean, I think it was good business that they did,
Mm-hmm.
that they made.
Yeah, I mean, I am not really like, the only reason I'm upset with the Ranger moves is Kelly was the okay. So there's a lot I've said throughout of like, oh, this guy Cubs could have got, this guy Cubs could have got. The main guy from the beginning that I was like, please get me, was a Kelly Suarez trade. I wanted Merle Kelly so bad in Chicago in that white Cub uniform that, like, it killed me when I saw he was going to the Rangers. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, come on. Like,
Mhm.
the guy I wanted most going to a different team. And I mean, I look at what they gave up. I don't know if it was because the Rangers gave straight pitching prospects and our prospects are more like positional players and not pitchers, but like, or our top guys, I should say. But like, that was a gut punch to me. And I think I cannot wait to see, especially tonight, like I said, tie game 0-0 heading into the bottom of the second between the Rangers and the Mariners. These two teams are going to slugfest it out now for a wild card spot. I mean, because like I said, the Mariners, they they got Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates. They pretty much only made two moves. It was, let's bring in Josh Naylor on the 24th. That kind of started the trades. Because I remember you texting me, well, the first one falls.
Yeah.
And then on the deadline, getting Eugenio Suarez, bringing him back. We have Carlos Correa going back to Houston. We got Eugenio Suarez going back to
Oh,
Seattle.
okay, never mind. Because
What?
it'll lead into the Seattle talk.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, they both
Yeah.
go back. Like, to me, Seattle, like, I'll say this, what's gonna pan out better? The Rangers getting two great pitchers or the Mariners getting two foundational bats?
Okay, so it's kind of a two-pronged answer
Mm-hmm.
because it it all depends. If Seattle makes it to the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
I think Seattle will be I guess, set up better because their 1 through 9 is well, not 1 through 9, but like 1 through 6, 1 through
Yeah.
5 is one of the better 1 through 5s in baseball, in my opinion. So that will help with especially, like I said, power is key in the playoffs. So assuming Suarez is able to continue what he's done this season and through the last couple of years, that should pan out. But I I think the pitching in the regular season could be the thing that gets Texas into the playoffs over Seattle. But again, it's kind of that's like the tough part.
You were gonna say something about Seattle because you freaked out that you thought I was gonna go into it. What were you gonna say
No,
about Seattle?
no, because it just reminded me because I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, man, I might have mentioned this to you, and this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of a shithead like thing, but I talked to Tim about it when, like, I think it was the next morning after Suarez got traded.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus Christ, you would have thought leading up to the trade that Suarez was like a 30-year vet with
With
the
Seattle.
Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay.
No, with the Diamondbacks, because like, oh, like I seen clips on Twitter. Oh, Suarez and what's to be his last home game as a Diamondback, and he's like crying in the dugout, and then he like, cause then I think he got hurt, but then in his
Mm-hmm.
like last actual game, they're like, this is Eugenio Suarez's last at bat as a Diamondback, and I think he hit a home run in that game. So like, they're like, thank you, Suarez, thank you. And it's like, brother, he's on your team for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a team icon. He's not like, yes,
I
he's a good
mean,
player.
hey, man, it's however, like some guys embrace a city and a city falls in love with them.
Well, I
Diamondbacks
guess
loved
okay.
Eugenio
Well,
Suarez.
yeah, well, I mean, and clearly Seattle does too,
Mm-hmm.
because again, they're like, he's home. Like once
Yeah.
he, which again, he's probably like, again, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
his whole story. Like, he probably does a lot for the community,
Yeah.
or like embraces the fans because, yeah, I watched that his return because, well, Seattle's a fun team to watch with
Mm-hmm.
Cal Raleigh and Suarez, but they're like, all right, they're like, yeah, Eugenio's finally home. Uh, and it's like, again, you look what Suarez spent also like 3 years in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, not even I could be wrong with that, but
So in
uh,
March of 2022, he was traded from the Reds to Seattle.
yeah.
And that was before the 2020 or at the beginning of the 2022 season. He was then traded after that season to the Diamondbacks.
So what? He spent a year there?
He spent 1 year there.
Yeah. Okay. So he spent a year in Seattle,
Yeah.
and they're like, he's home.
I'm sorry. 2 years. 2 years. 2
But
years. The
that's the thing. Like,
2022 and 2023, he was in Seattle. So 2 years in Seattle.
yeah, and again, I'm not really giving either team shit for how they feel about this player because, like I said, if both these teams
And to be
love this
honest, he
guy,
hasn't even spent a full 2 years in Arizona. It's been a year and a half.
okay,
Because he got traded. So he got traded to the Diamondbacks right before the 2024 season. So 2024, we're currently in the 2025 season. It's only a year and a half in Arizona.
okay, and so again, clearly he's a great guy, probably a great teammate. Like I'm not trying to give shit. I just thought it was really funny that both these guys are acting like Derek Jeter's returning to
Mm-hmm.
the Yankees or leaving the Yankees or
Mm-hmm.
whatever because I just thought that was really funny. Um, but yeah, that's really all I want to say with that regard. But besides that, I really again I liked what the Mariners did
Mm-hmm.
for the trade deadline.
So next team, we're kind of moving on. We're going a little bit quicker than that NL or not NL AL East discussion, but the next team we have on our list, the New York Mets. This is a team, JD, yet again. Did they do a lot? No. But the few moves they made, this is a team. Cedric Mullins has been on fire. They grab him. They say, you know what? We're just gonna give you what you want, take what you want. We want Mullins. And then they also go ahead and grab Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals, get a solid bullpen arm. This is a team that will probably make the playoffs, I say. And I that's not me like standing out there like, oh yeah, they're gonna make the playoffs. Now, of course, they got to keep playing. They're a game and a half ahead of the third place team in the wild card, which is the Padres. So they're not that far ahead. They're about 2.5, 3. If my math is right, they're about 2.5 behind the Cubs, who are the first wild card team. I think this Mets team, just by adding Cedric Mullins and Ryan Helsley, they've done enough to go, hey, we didn't need to do much. We know on paper we're a great team. We've got Juan Soto. He was the big signing. We just need these small little adjustments. Let's add these guys in. This is a team that is run by Lindor, run by the Polar Bear. Mark Vientos has played well. Jeff McNeil, if it's opening day, he's the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. This is a team that, hey, they knew what they needed. They got what they needed. I wish this team was the Cubs because the Cubs didn't know what to fucking do. I'm going to keep ragging on the Cubs until I get to vent about them on Monday. But I do like what the Mets did, even though it might have been small, precise moves.
Yeah, like the Mets gave up quite a bit of prospect capital and pretty much all of their moves.
Mm-hmm.
But again, getting a guy like Ryan Helsley, who's again one of the better relievers in baseball,
Yeah.
so that's great because pairing him up with Edwin Diaz,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or isn't Diaz hurt?
Oh, he's hurt and then he's not hurt every other way. I don't think he's hurt right now.
Okay,
Do not
because
think he is hurt at the moment, but I will look up for you.
okay, yeah, because I think it was smart to get
No,
Helsley because
he is active right now, not hurt.
because Helsley can close,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's smart. If Diaz is always injured, then it's not like, oh crap, who's gonna close our games when we got a
Mm-hmm.
tight lead? Well, now you have Helsley who can be a setup guy and also close games when need be. Tyler Rogers, again, you get from San Francisco, and he's a good middle relief guy, get you
Mm-hmm.
through the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, maybe. Obviously, we talked about Cedric Mullins. I mean, a great clubhouse guy, apparently. Kind of do it all. Like good center fielder, can hit. Love that move. And then Gregory Soto, another high leverage arm that they got from Baltimore as well. So they really again they went through the mantra of let's build from the bullpen out because our starters aren't going to go 7 innings in the playoffs every single outing. So let's make sure we have an elite bullpen, and maybe it's not elite, but it's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that I feel like they might have a little bit of pressure. And of course, me saying that, I'm like, dude, how basic can you get? Of course they have pressure. They signed Juan Soto this offseason. That is a move that basically says, well, guys, if we don't win the World Series, it's a bust. Right here. World Series or bust right here. They needed to make moves yet again. Was it the most extravagant trade deadline for the Mets? No, but it's exactly what I wanted my Cubs to do. Hey, we need here. Boom, boom. Hey, we need bullpen. Boom, got it. Oh, we need a hitter. Boom, we need this. Boom, got it. If the Cubs would have just got a pitcher, got a hitter, got a pitcher, I would have been like, oh, fine, cool. Like we didn't do a lot, but we got what we did. We did. The Mets did a good job. Like they did exactly what I wanted the Cubs to do. Just, hey, here's our need. Let's go get it. Bada bing, bada boom, move forward. Question for you. Speaking of my Cubs, one of the guys that we were linked to until the day he dies, Sandy Alcantara. Now, Tim Tim hated Alcantara, said, not personally, but he goes, I don't want him anywhere near my team. Was it shocking to you that the Marlins basically, like, so I said this to Tim, right? I said this to Tim, the last podcast we did before the deadline. I go, the Marlins are a team. By the way, right now, bottom of the ninth, they're losing 12-10 to the Yankees. Yeah. They were up 10-9, then it was tied 10-10. Now they're down 12-10 in the bottom of the ninth. This is a Marlins team that is 7 games out of the wild card. I said, with how hot they've been playing, I'm like, do you think there's a chance they just don't make a move at the deadline? That they just go, nope, we're going to keep it as is, or, oh, we're going to be the ones to buy on a piece. And Tim was like, oh, no, they're going to sell. Like, there's no way. Like, this team is not a playoff team. And then look at the deadline. They didn't sell. The only thing they did was they traded left fielder Jesus Sanchez to the Astros. It's really the only move they did on Thursday. So does it surprise you, like I'm sure it probably surprises Tim, that the Marlins didn't make a move? They didn't sell because they were the ones that people were like, oh, yeah, mark them down. They're going to be sellers.
See, no, not really, because it didn't really surprise me because their big trade piece was Sandy Alcantara, because
and they also had, by the way, Cabrera as well, the pitcher.
Yeah, and Edward Cabrera, but again, so like the Jays were linked to both of those guys, and obviously of the two, as I talked to you about before, I wanted Cabrera, but they didn't really have much capital to trade, and with somebody like Alcantara, he's a former, I believe he won a Cy Young, or he was at least a nominee.
Yeah.
But he's coming off of Tommy John. He's gotten better as the season, like as he's gotten more starts under his belt. But Alcantara is a player who I think will get traded in the offseason because a team needs to bring him into their facility, work on his mechanics, and actually sit down with him. For the buyers at the deadline this year who's trying to win a World Series, they don't have time to be like, hey, buddy, come on in, and yeah, sure, you can work through your kinks here. Yeah. No, like you can't be wasting starts like that. So I get it from the Marlins perspective, is if you're going to trade a former Cy Young caliber winner, you don't want to get peanuts for him. So yeah, hold on to him. Try to hopefully that he finishes the season strong, and then you can get a decent size return for him in the offseason. Cabrera, I mean, he's a younger pitcher. He's their best pitcher. And I'm sure the asking price for him was a lot, which is why he stayed put, which, again, he's somebody that I expect to be moved in the offseason when the trade value seems to go down on players. So yeah, but like with bats, I mean, they don't really have too much. Like Otto Lopez, I guess, is somebody they could have traded him, but he still has team control. They just got Kyle Stover from Baltimore.
The Orioles last
Baltimore. Year. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if I'm a Marlins fan, I am a bit annoyed that we didn't do anything. We stayed pat, but I mean, I can't really blame them if I'm being honest.
I'm not even seeing the Kyle Stowers trade on that website you sent me, JD. Let's see here. Yeah, that was the Trevor Rogers trade. Yeah. They sent Trevor Rogers to the Orioles and got Stowers and Connor Norby in that deal. That was last deadline, last year. The 30th of July, 2024.
Not to sidetrack us, but I just thought this was funny. So the Yankees used Jake Bird, David Bednar, and Duvall, and each of those players besides Duvall, which he's pitching right now in the ninth, gave up a home run and four earned runs for Jake Bird and 2 earned runs for Bednar. And I will say quickly, just again, just as a little tidbit,
Yeah.
Bednar is somebody who hasn't pitched well in high leverage, and
Mhm.
I feel like the Yankee fans are gonna turn on this guy in a freaking instant.
He'll be fine. I mean, also I will say this, it's kind of unfortunate that, oh yeah, let's go out there and throw you out there to see how you do, and like Bednar's and Bird. You could say it for both. I'm gonna pull up Bird right now. Where is he? There he is, Jake Bird. So like you look at both of them, right? They're NL guys that got traded over to the AL.
Yeah.
Bird against the Miami Marlins. All right, hasn't pitched too bad, but he's only pitched an inning and 2/3 against them coming into this game. Bednar's has pitched, yeah. So Bednar's pitched 2 innings prior to today's game against the Marlins. Guess what his ERA is against the Marlins this year heading into today? In 2 innings,
An 8?
13 and a half.
I mean, but ERA for relievers
Yeah.
isn't
I mean, he's given
great
up
stat. You
4
wanna
runs in 2 innings.
Can you tell me what his whip is?
They do not have whip in the splits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't
Well,
have whip in the splits.
okay. But I mean,
The
still,
opponent batting average is 400 for the
okay.
Marlins against them. So like he hasn't had success against the Marlins in the short time he has pitched against them. But another team, I'm gonna just rapid fire here.
Marlins just tied the game.
Oh, fuck me.
They have
No,
a
they
chance to walk
didn't.
it off. Yes, they
No,
did.
they didn't. It says 12 to
Um,
2 still.
oh, what?
It says
Well, it just said 12-12 for me. And then
runner on
what was
first
it?
and second.
No, it is 12-12. Runner on third. No, 1 out.
Both my apps say 10 to 12.
I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I could see. JD just hates me and just wants me to be miserable.
I hate the
Um,
Yankees, man. I'm sorry.
the
Oh, yeah,
one
sorry. What was
the one thing I'll say, moving on from Marlins to another one, are you surprised that Lubob didn't get traded? I know that there was rumors that Reinsdorf and that were like, we're gonna give him the 20 the option. We're gonna pay him the option. I thought he was still going to get moved. I thought he'd be a Met, to be honest with you. I thought they were the
Yeah.
team that was going to get him.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Like I thought he was going to be a Met, but man,
Mhm.
again, Reinsdorf or I'm going to imagine it was his decision
Yeah. Well,
because they wanted.
they still have Reinsdorf has ownership, and it's like over time. Like after a couple years, the new guy who's like the Suns owner will have the option to buy the team.
Okay. Because yeah, what I was going to say is that yeah, I'm surprised, but then like okay, so I'm surprised he didn't get moved because I thought that
Mm-hmm.
they would what's the word? That the White Sox would move their asking price down. They
Mm-hmm.
would lower their asking price because I seen a rumor that they're asking for a top 10 prospect from whatever team trades him, and then I saw it was 2 top 10 prospects,
Mm-hmm.
and I get it from the White Sox. This guy hit what 38 home runs in 2023.
Yeah.
He was a superstar in the making, but he's been dog water.
He's
But
been
then
glass too.
yeah, and he's been glass.
It was him and Eloy were always glass.
Yeah. And now, but like since like the trade rumors kind of
Mm-hmm.
started heating up, he started playing well. Like yes, his average is still down. But he's starting to hit home runs again.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking better swings. He's playing well in the outfield. Now I just wonder if that's because he wanted to get traded, so it's like, oh crap, okay, it's time to actually try. Or if he's actually finding his form again. But like I would have loved again. I really like Lou Bob. I think
Mm-hmm.
like he's just I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite players, but he's a player I did appreciate and I enjoyed watching from the outside when he was doing really well. And yeah, I thought he was going to get traded to the Mets and kind of revive his career. Now, I don't see him staying with the White Sox long term. I know the White Sox are probably going to eat his $20 million option, but I think they will try to trade him either again this offseason or next year by the deadline. Hopefully, if Lou Bob actually, plays well for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think teams, and I don't blame them, teams didn't want to give up top 10 prospects for him because first of all, he's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
And second of all, yes, he's been turning it around over the last like 3 weeks or so, but the sample size of him being bad is a lot more than the sample size of him being good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that risk was worth it. If the White Sox were willing to move or lower their asking price to maybe a prospect in the range of like 11 to 20
Mm-hmm.
plus maybe some other lower end prospects, then I think a team would have been more inclined to do that. But I don't know. The White Sox continue to be just a joke franchise,
A
if I'm being honest.
conundrum to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have basically the Lou Bob thing. It's not just next year, it's for the next 2 years. He has two $20 million options. So I know that, I mean, I guess since they didn't trade him, what do we take the White Sox at their word? And yes, we're gonna basically, they're saying yes, we're gonna give them the 20 million at the end. But like, are we gonna just be doing this again next year? Is this gonna be rinse and repeat next year at the deadline? All right. Are they gonna trade Lou Bob, or are they gonna keep him and give him 20 million again? Like this, the thing that confuses me, don't get me wrong, I love it because, I'm a Cub fan, but like, you're a dumpster franchise and you're going to choose to pay him $20 million. Does Lou Bob make this team better? No. Could prospects have made this team better? Yes, in the long run.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and going back to when we had our discussion about the Twins and
Mm-hmm.
like, well, like the AL or yeah, the AL Central,
Mm-hmm.
there nothing the White Sox do now or even next season makes them better than the Tigers and the Royals.
Yeah.
So get some assets back and like continue to get top prospects and rebuild because and then like right now like again I get what like I mentioned I get wanting to get a top
Mm-hmm.
prospect for Lou Bob,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know what you're waiting for because now you're running the risk of him sucking even more. And then what? You DFA him, you buy him out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get nothing for him.
Yeah.
It's just bad business, and it just
Mm-hmm.
makes me want to like I don't know scratch my head with thinking about this.
So the next thing, we're kind of
Oh,
talking
so
about two teams.
Yankees lose,
I know, I saw. See, JD just want, like, see, guys, like, JD, horrible friend. I'm just gonna say, the podcast partner is amazing, horrible friend because he just wants to see me sad. That's all he wants to
brother.
see.
You
He
pick
just wants
teams
to
that I
see me
hate.
sad.
You
I
you bet
don't
on teams
pick
I
teams that you hate. I go analytically. They were the
hate.
team that should have won. Sorry, their bullpen imploded. Um, but moving forward,
Yeah.
JD, which team do you want to talk about first? The Las Vegas A's or the San Diego Padres?
I'll talk about the Sacramento A's
You mean the Las Vegas
first.
A's?
Well, no, they're Sacramento, buddy.
Yeah, but no, they're the Las Vegas A's, baby. Vegas A's. Now, question: little non, like, this question doesn't matter, but I find it interesting. If you're deciding this for the team, do you go by the Las Vegas A's, or do you do what the Golden Knights do and just be the Vegas A's? Do you drop the loss in front of
Las
Vegas?
Vegas Athletics, Vegas Athletics. Okay, so I would say I'm gonna
Because, like,
say
no one says
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas Golden Knights. It's the Vegas Knights. The Vegas Golden
Yeah,
Knights.
yeah, but the team name is the Athletics. So I'd say Las Vegas Athletics sounds better than the
It's
Vegas
interesting that you're
Athletics.
going athletics and not just A's.
Well, that's the thing, but that's actually the
Like
weird
I
part.
would
It
call them
sounds
just the Vegas A's.
You see, the Vegas A's sounds better than the Vegas Athletics, but
Mhm.
if you say the Athletics, then I think Las Vegas sounds better.
Do people really call them the athletic? I've always heard
Yeah.
them called the A's.
Well, especially the older crowd.
Like, oh, they're the A's. They're just the A's. But yeah, no, this is a team that you were telling me before we were recording. You were like, I really, really, really like what they did.
Mhm.
So what they did was a couple of moves on the deadline. They make a trade with the Padres, sending Mason Miller and JP Sears over to San Diego. They get a bunch of players, but the big one was Leo DeFries. DeFries, baby, DeFries. Put DeFries in the bag. They get Leo, top prospect from the Padres. So basically, they're revamping this young team and saying, hey, we're just adding to it. And then they traded Andujar to the Reds for Kenya Huggins. Now, the Andujar trade, is it both that and the DeFries trade, or is it just, hey, they got Leo DeFries, they win?
No,
Not the
I think
deal, I just mean overall.
no. Well, yes, okay. Getting DeVries, who's the third best prospect in baseball
Mm-hmm.
according to the MLB
Mm-hmm.
prospects website. Um, but no, like the entire haul that they got for Miller and like just even Andujar, and they made another trade.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Oh no, it was just those two.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the entire haul, I think is good because
Unless you're thinking June 8th,
yeah, no,
they
I
got
misread that.
Austin, Austin Wins for cash from the Reds.
Yeah, but that I misread that. But like
Mm-hmm.
Braden Net they got, or yeah, Braden Net they got
Mm-hmm.
who's now their what fifth ranked prospect. Obviously DeVries, who's their best prospect.
Yeah.
Henry Baez, who's their ninth best prospect. And then they got Nunez, who's now their 17th best prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like again, there's like the Huggins, I think their 27th best prospect now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like so that's a good haul. Getting multiple players who now are inside your top 30 for your
Mm-hmm.
prospect system, and yes, and for a closer as well. The
Yeah.
fact, again, I'm not shitting on the Padres because Mason Miller is the best closer in
Mm-hmm.
baseball. Guy throws 104 gas, so I don't hate that at all. But to get the third best prospect in baseball for a closing pitcher, that's good business, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, yes, it's hard to find a Mason Miller like just throughout your system and
Mm-hmm.
or trading for one, but I mean, you can always find other closers elsewhere, but to get somebody with the potential of DeVries and the other guys that they got, the other
Mm-hmm.
pitching prospects they got, I mean, you can't hate that, especially for right now. Mason
Mm-hmm.
Miller, what's he gonna do for you right now? You're trying to lose baseball games,
Yeah. You're
so
talking about from an A's standpoint.
yeah, from an A standpoint.
Dude,
So
I'll say this. You say they're trying to lose games. The A's are doing a pretty bad job at that right now. I get they're not going to be a playoff team. They're 10. The only team worse than them in the AL is the White Sox. But like I look at this team even right now. I mean, yes, they're playing the Diamondbacks tonight. They're already up 4-0. This team is cooking right now. Mainly because of, Nick Kurtz, Brent Roker, like they're playing insane, but like this team, JD, I'm gonna say it again. This team is cooking right now.
they're honestly one of my favorite teams to watch,
Mm-hmm.
like besides when I'm not watching Jays games, because again, they're one
Just
of those
but
teams like
watch them on mute. No matter who's
no,
calling the game.
no, I like Dallas Braden. I'm a
Yeah,
big Dallas Braden
I'm
fan.
sorry. The other side of that equation, just no matter who it is, sucks.
Yeah.
That ball is foul. I mean, gone.
Yeah.
No, it's foul. No, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's
but
gone.
Ricky, I learned this from I listened to a different
That's
baseball
bad,
podcast.
JD. That's
No,
and I'm not even talking about the Dick and Dots thing.
Nah, man. Like it's really like their other announcer besides Dallas Braden, I think on Dallas Braden's podcast, he said the guy's 25 years old.
I don't care how old you are. That ball was not foul.
Yeah, he lost it in the sun. And dude, they played a minor league stadium.
That game was in Houston.
Oh, that's right.
That game was in Houston, dude.
I thought
that game was in Houston.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. But like I said, man, yeah. So that's my bad.
Also, I'm gonna say this: even if he did lose it in the sun, you can usually tell like where the player is running, and the player wasn't near the foul pole at all.
Yeah.
Like,
So no,
it was just bad.
It was a bad mess up, but like again, man, like what? There's not many broadcasters who are in their 20s, so I can't really like give this guy shit because everybody makes mistakes. Again, the guy's still young. It's not like he's been doing this for 40 years, right? So,
well,
I don't think it's that.
I'll give him shit. That was bad.
but yeah,
that was bad.
But then yeah, so like but back to the whole original point, like with the A's, like they are a fun team, like they can hit the ball. Their pitching is atrocious, and I think
now it's even worse.
Yeah,
because they traded their two bright spots.
Yeah, but then they kept Severino, who hates who hates playing at home there.
He's been pitching kind of well for them, I will say.
Yeah, but not at home. If you look at his home away splits, it's astonishing.
Well, I mean, would you want to pitch at a minor league ballpark as a major leaguer?
No, obviously not. But he's the one who signed there.
True.
In the offseason.
I don't think he thought it through, to be honest.
Yeah, clearly not.
I think he just was like,
he probably didn't know that they were moving stadiums. That brother needs to fire his agent.
I'll be honest though, they're pitching like Severino's pitched well in games. Jeffrey Spring has pitched well. Jacob Lopez has been a surprise. Like, I'm not saying lights out, but like Lopez has been surprisingly good over the last like 5+ games for them. And Sears, he was probably their most reliable.
Yeah.
That's why he got traded.
Well, him or Springs, I would say.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this, JD, and this is going to, I'll give it away. My biggest winner of the trade deadline is the one team we haven't talked about yet.
Padres?
It's the San Diego Padres, dude. This is a team, beginning of the year, they were playing so hot. Do you remember what I told you? Like a week, 2 weeks into the season. Do you remember what I told you?
They're going to the World Series.
They're going to I said, put your World Series bets on them now, boys. This team could win the World Series. Then they kind of fell off. They had a bad stretch. They have done, JD, if the Twins are the biggest sellers of the trade deadline, the Padres are the biggest buyers. They bring in, first off, they make the Mason Miller Sears trade. They go, let's bring those boys in. We'll give up our top prospect for it. Then they go ahead and say, okay, Stephen Kolek, you've been okay, but we're going to move you. We're going to move Ryan Burgerts as well. 2 of our starters. We're going to bring in Freddie Furman, catcher. Then they make the big dick swing of, oh, here's a butt ton of projects and prospects, Baltimore. Give me Ryan O'Hearn. Give me Laureano, the former A. They now have 3 A's on their team, or 3 guys that have spent time in an A's uni on their team. And then some people are going to say this isn't a great move, but I like it. They go out, they say, hey, Nestor Cortez might not be what he was in New York. He's hurt right now, but you don't make that trade if you don't think he's going to be ready at some point this year. But they go ahead and they get Nestor, which I think it changes scenery being on a winning team. And I know you're going to say, Ricky, he was on a winning team in the Brewers, but have you ever been to Milwaukee? Milwaukee can suck the soul out of you. So
hey, we're going to go on a trip there.
There's a reason why we call it Wrigley North, because it doesn't have an identity of itself. Milwaukee just wishes it could be Chicago. That's all it is. They even say, oh, the Greaterland Chicago area. No. If you're in Wisconsin, you're not in the Greaterland Chicago area. I'm sorry. You're just trying to live off our vibe and live off our name. But they made so many moves, JD, that this was a team looking at themselves saying, okay, we're 60 wins. We haven't played our best ball all year, and we're still 3.5 out of the division. The Dodgers have not been, everyone thought before the years, oh, sim the season, Dodgers World Series. That might still happen, but I will say this. The Dodgers have not been the dominant team that everybody thought they were going to be. This to me was the Padres going, hey, we're 3.5 out of the division. Fuck the wild card. Let's make the moves to win the division and take this thing from the Dodgers. That's what I see from this. All we got to see, JD, will it pan out? And I'll ask you, will the Padres at the end of the year be NL West champs over the Dodgers?
I'll say yes, they'll be the NL West champs.
Okay.
Just because I'm not sure if the Dodgers can overcome their injuries at the moment. Well, because wait, what's the standings right now? How many games back are the
Padres?
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I could see them overtaking the Dodgers for the lead of the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, NL West. But yeah, I mean, playoffs come around, different discussion, just because I feel like we've seen the Padres take big swings, like when they got Juan Soto and Manny Machado,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately it didn't really pan out.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely like what they did.
So I'm going to say this. If that happened, a lot can change, but if the standings stayed now, we just flipped the Dodgers and the Padres, you know what the playoffs would be then in the NL?
What?
So the Dodgers have a similar record to the Cubs. So it would either be the Cubs or the Dodgers at the first wild card spot. Right now, I think we're technically a half game ahead of them. So it'd be us 4, them 5. The Mets would fall down to 6.
Dang.
Philly is the third team. The Padres move up to 2. Milwaukee right now at 1. So it'd be Milwaukee and the Padres getting a bye. The Mets would have to go to Philly game 1. So they'd be the road team in that series against the Philadelphia Phillies. And then we would get Dodgers at Cubs game 1. I would hate that personally. I would hate
I bet you would.
But to be honest, if the standings are what they are now, Padres go to Philadelphia, Cubs get to play the Mets round 1. So thinking we're going to get an easy opponent round 1, it ain't going to happen. We're going to have to play somebody. But that would be insane if the Dodgers were a wild card team heading into the playoffs. And I think this Padre team right now, like, they're up 4-1 on the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals suck, but like, I think that these trades are going to be the right thing. Also, it's also very important in my mind. There were so many times, I'm going to try to pull it up here on Twitter. I think it was Rosenthal that was tweeting it out right before the deadline ended. There was a ton of like, ooh, Dylan Cease on the radar for the Red Sox. Oh, Dylan Cease on the radar for this team. I don't know how serious the Padres were in shipping out Dylan Cease, but I like that they kept him. I think it's important that they kept him.
Yeah. Well, again, I know I mentioned this to you beforehand, like I think the day before the deadline or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but they wanted a MLB ready outfielder, like
Mm-hmm.
like an everyday outfielder. So they didn't really so much want prospects because they're contending. They wanted like I guess equal value, which I guess that's kind of harder to pull off because I find in baseball most trades are prospects for said MLB player, and you don't really see too many um, good player for good player
Mm-hmm.
swaps.
God. Trying to
Oh, the
find
A's are
this.
up for nothing right
Yeah, I
now.
know. Trying to find this tweet. It's one of the funniest tweets I've seen about Dylan Cease.
What?
Someone put Dylan Cease beat the trade deadline allegations. And it's a picture of like a guy in the hospital and said, I lived, bitch. That's Dylan Cease right now. I lived, bitch. Yeah, I think it was the Astros. That's it. The Astros were the ones that were really, really, really trying to get Dylan Cease from the Padres. But like JD, I've already said it. My biggest winner of the trade deadline, the Padres. They made the most moves. They needed to make the most moves. I'll say this. They didn't need to make the most moves. But I feel like they did because they're like, hey, you know what? Dodgers are in striking range. We don't wait to see if we can beat them. Let's go take that division. And I agree with you. I think they will take the division at the end of the year. Padres sneaky World Series team at the end of the year. Who's your biggest winner?
Yeah, so just to be different and have more of a conversation, the
Mm-hmm.
Padres would be like my 1B, 1A.
Okay.
So for my winner, I'm gonna say Seattle. Again, I love what they did. Their pitching is already pretty decent. Like at least
Mm-hmm.
their starting pitching. And yeah, you would have liked them to pick up some relievers maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you get two of the better power bats at this deadline. Well, the best power bat in Suarez in this deadline, and then a very good one with Josh Naylor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, yes, they're both rentals,
Mm-hmm.
so you didn't have to give up an absurd amount of prospects for them. But yeah, you didn't have to give up much for them. They should help you in the playoffs. Suarez, again, assuming I don't know anything, but I guess he likes it in Seattle, so
Mm-hmm.
you guys probably have a good chance of re-signing him. Not really sure where Naylor feels like he kind of hops around every year to a different team. But yeah, both guys should help you to get into the playoffs and make some noise.
JD, I'm gonna let you go first with this one. Biggest loser.
Yeah, I mentioned them earlier, the Boston Red Sox. They just didn't
Oh,
do
okay.
yeah,
Fuck,
I
that's
don't
surprising.
no, like I think that they should have been way more aggressive, way more active, and think their fans would agree with that.
Okay.
Um, right now though, they made okay moves,
Mm-hmm.
but I really don't think it raises their ceiling all that much. It might just raise their floor a bit.
Mm-hmm. I think you know where I'm gonna go with this. Can you guess my biggest loser?
The Cubs?
Of course it's the Cubs. Jed Hoyer. What are we doing, Jed? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what, JD? You know what? I'm a fan of the Chicago Bulls, right? I lived through the Bulls. I lived through trade deadlines. I didn't know I root for the Chicago Bulls in baseball too. What? Soroka? Kittledge? What McKen? We're in on Mackenzie Gore. We're in on Mackenzie Gore. He didn't even get moved. What were we doing? What were we not offering? And then it's like, guys. All I see on Twitter, guys. Don't worry. Jed's a procrastinator. He'll get something done by the end. Then I'm sitting there refreshing. Come on, give me something. Thank God we got Willie Castro. So I was like at the edge of the bridge, ready to take a step. And that's like the Cubs have traded for Willie Castro. All right, I can step back. I can at least step back. I don't have to do this today. But like I'll be honest. I'm probably not going to do this, but I will let people in. Tim and I made a joke off air that if the Cubs didn't make a move or made shit moves, that for that podcast where we talk about it, I'd fill like a vodka bottle filled with water and just act like I'm like depressed and drinking. Guess what, JD? I may be straight edge, but I actually wanted to do it for real. That is how much I hate this trade deadline. Jed Hoyer, I know we re-signed him, but get him the fuck out of town. Get him out of here, fire his ass, take the contract back, rip it up, say, nope, we don't need it. Talk about a guy who is like, oh, well, he was around for the World Series. He helped us build the World Series. Talk about a guy who rides the coattails of Theo Epstein. It wasn't him that did anything. It was Theo that broke the curse. Theo won us that World Series. And this guy's acting like, oh, it'd be like if the Bulls won the title and Mark Eversley goes, yeah, this was my doing. No, it's not your doing. The Cubs completely screwed up. We could have gotten Mackenzie Gore, Merle Kelly, Drew Bednarz, Eugenio Suarez. The Eugenio Suarez thing I'm not that upset about, because if he really did want to go to the Mariners, of course, the Diamondbacks were going to collude to get that done, because I do think there was collusion between the Mariners and the Diamondbacks because of the return they got for Naylor and Suarez. But that's besides the point. The Cubs fucked up. This is going to cost us, because I'm going to make some predictions here, JD. 1, Cubs are not winning the World Series. 2, Kyle Tucker will not be a Cub next year. That's it. We're not winning the World Series. Kyle Tucker, he ain't like, he's going to say, bye, Chicago. Because here's the thing. Tim, you, I were talking about it. Why would Kyle Tucker want to stay with a team that doesn't want to make the moves? Well, I get money, but why would he not want to stay with a team, or why would he want to stay with a team that could be World Series bound, but doesn't want to make the moves necessary or give up what is necessary to get the pieces? This is the equivalent of if Theo said, no, Gleyber Torres, we can't give him up for Aroldis Chapman. We just can't do it. And then we never win the World Series. I'm so thankful that Theo was in the driver's seat that year. Cubs' biggest losers. I hate what we did. I hate this deadline. JD, give me something before we sign this off, because I can't end it with me just being a complete mess. A complete depressed mess. We're going to make sure it's depressed mess. And it's a Cubs logo.
No, I mean, again, I know we said we wouldn't really touch on the Cubs, but what I'll say is,
I had to. They're the biggest losers.
No, and that's fine. Like, I mean, you and Tim are going to be able to go into a lot more, but what I'll just say is,
I've been foreshadowing the whole podcast, by the way.
Yeah. From an outsider's perspective on the Cubs, so like, again, do I think Tucker leaves or stays? I don't know. I think that this season does determine that. I think you are being a little harsh on your own team, because I think even without moves, you guys were still good. Yes, you want to improve. Yeah.
But Jed Hoyer's an idiot.
Yeah, you could have done more easily. But again, like, the thing, it's easier to sit here and just say, oh, why didn't my team make this move? We don't know. There's, again, how I joke about with like hockey, for say, like that there's a Toronto Maple Leafs tax. I mean, you never know. Some teams don't like trading with others, and then you get asked, okay, yeah, we want your top 2 prospects for so and so. No, you from Seattle, let's say, you're asking for their 5th and 6th best prospect. Why do we need to give up our top 2? Okay, fine, we'll go with Seattle's. Bye. You never really know what the asking prices are, and it's kind of hard to be clinical when, okay, sure, you guys could have gotten Merle Kelly. I mean, yeah, but we don't know what the actual asking price was, and it might, like, your ownership group and front office, they might have not been comfortable giving up your top prospect for Merle Kelly.
So if it comes out that teams were asking for Matt Shaw, then I will say fine. But we have like Owen Cassie, Moses Ballestero, Kevin Alcantara, Jefferson Rojas, Pedro, like, Tim and I know have talked about this, but like, Jed Hoyer needs to answer for shit. because this just is not acceptable. Like, this team, I also brought this up to you and Tim. This is the last thing I'll say. Cubs at the beginning of the season, that was not our baseline. We were way above our baseline. We were playing like you guys are playing, where it was like, wow, this team is over exceeding. It's not going to stay like this. And it almost seems like Jed's like, no, that's the team's baseline. He's an idiot. Yeah. I'm not a Jed Hoyer fan. I am a Jed Hoyer hater. Just like fire Garpax, fire Jed Hoyer. He's the worst thing for this team right now. And I don't care if that seems overreactionary. The Cubs season is over. I am mourning it, and I'm getting ready. Skull, it's Viking season, baby. I mean, I'm going to watch the Cubs. I'm still going to try to enjoy games. But, yeah, Skull, it's Viking season, baby. Because, yeah, the Cubs are done. I hate to say it.
The last thing I'll say, I'm not used to being the positive one out of you and Jake.
Yeah, because I'm not used to my teams being... Well, okay, I'm a Bulls fan, so I am used to my team being brain-dead idiots. But I'm not used to my baseball team being brain-dead idiots. I'm used to us being lovable losers or World Series champions.
Yeah.
I guess. I can't with this. I can't, not with the team. I like the players. I can't with Jed Hoyer right now. I absolutely can't. But JD, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Honestly, this trade deadline was a lot more eventful than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a lot. Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot slower. Yes, the star-studded names weren't necessarily moved, but it felt like every hour we were getting like 5 trades, 10 trades an hour. So it was fun. I mean, I woke up late, so I woke up to you text me being like, "You took a picture we want." Oh, who did we get? And then
that was the Shane Bieber.
Yeah,
I think I actually let me see. I think I remember the exact wording, but I am going to read it. Let's see.
Well, I don't think you could say it. You said an F.
Oh yeah. I basically said "fuck your team" with a few other colorful words in there. Oh, that is right on brand for me. But let's go ahead and end this podcast. JD, Discord, they can look at that down below. Grace Community University. If you want to support us, Patreon is also down below. Hit up that sub button, hit up that like button. JD and I'm going to say this. We're going to be back this season. JD and I are going to be back. We're going to be doing football during the football season. JD, we do have some football news. Maybe we got to talk about it next week. Micah Parsons.
Oh, yeah.
We also got Terry McLaurin. We got some trades to maybe talk about in the football year. But JD and I will be back doing that. Tim and I, Monday, we're scheduled to do it. Whenever Tim gets his computer fixed is when we're going to do it. We'll be talking Cubs. So if you're looking for the Wrecking Crew and our more in-depth thoughts on that, that will be next week. JD, thank you for doing this with me. I know Tim wishes that he could be here, but computer did not agree with him when it came to this. Yep. So that's going to do it for us. Let us know what you guys think down below. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
See ya.
As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.